Straight ahead on CCX News, a crash that neighbors say sounded like a bomb went off. It resulted in serious injuries and now criminal charges. Plus, the rain that won't end, causing a mess for local homeowners. But first, a legislative pressure cooker. A constitutional deadline awaits and several bills still need to be passed. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The clock is ticking as Minnesota lawmakers try to balance the state's $46 billion budget before midnight.
Despite a $1.65 billion surplus, many key bills are still unresolved, meaning a special session is possible. We get more from Eric Nelson.
The stakes are really high on these things, and the parties started so far apart in their respective positions that compromise to get a deal done means a lot of compromise.
Groggy politicians were battling sleep deprivation.
I think we're going to go to midnight.
And each other at the Capitol today.
It's not about bickering. It's about perhaps different worldviews or philosophies of how to govern.
However, there is no sugarcoating things. Political polarization exists on the national and local levels.
I think the level of animosity and vituperation and conflict between the individuals makes it seem more or less nasty to the public.
It depends, though, on how we control that, because if it's constantly polarized, nothing will get done.
Lobbyists are paying close attention to the close of the session.
A good lobbyist will have done his work early and often.
After being visible and vocal at the Capitol in recent months, they are now playing the waiting game.
Their work is kind of done. They can't push the ball anymore.
They rarely speak on behalf of the general public, even when they are a public interest type lobbyist. They are here on behalf of an association of people that have a particular interest that they care about.
A transportation bill is a wedge issue. Some support the Botno light rail line in the northwest suburbs.
We need to make those investments now, and we can't let the political winds stop them at this point.
Others do not.
Halfway through Brooklyn Park, it goes straight up to the Target Corporate Center front door, and that's where it stops. So you tell me if that satisfies a regional interest.
In St. Paul, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Fees for hunting and fishing licenses, as well as passes to state parks, are going up under last-minute bills approved by the House and Senate. A fishing license will go up $3, while a hunting license will go up $4. Day passes to state parks will rise $2. The DNR pushed for the increases to keep up with rising costs. Among the most contentious spending topics remaining, funding for health care and schools. Those account for about 70% of the state's budget.
Charges are filed against a Bloomington man after a violent crash that seriously injured two people in Brooklyn Park. On Friday evening, witnesses say 34-year-old Paul Winch was traveling as fast as 80 miles an hour on Humboldt Avenue, according to a criminal complaint. He ran a red light and then collided with two other cars at the intersection with Brookdale Drive. People who work in the area say the collision was so violent it sounded like a bomb went off. Car parts, including a tire, were found 50 feet away from the impact. After the crash, police say Winch tried to flee the scene on foot.
The citizens on scene alerted the officers that the suspect had been running through the neighborhoods, so a search was immediately conducted for him. Shortly later, some callers had reported that he was trying to break into houses, and ultimately officers found him breaking into a home where they took him into custody.
Paul Winch faces charges of criminal vehicular operation and burglary. Two people are still hospitalized with serious injuries. We're finally getting a reprieve from the rain after the Twin Cities Metro broke two records.
On the 17th, 1.8 inches of rain fell at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, breaking a record set back in 1938. And on Saturday, 1.4 inches of rain fell, breaking a record from 1937. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us how the wet weather impacted folks here in the Northwest Metro.
Mike and Alex, folks in this Brooklyn Park neighborhood are glad the sun is finally out. It's rained for the past 7 days, creating a soggy mess. We talked to some folks who are still trying to dry out. It wasn't pretty. Hard, steady rain fell for a whole week straight. The precipitation turned this Brooklyn Park yard into a small pond.
When you look at the whole week from last Monday to this Monday, in Hennepin County, rainfall amounts have been from 3.5 to 5.5 inches.
That was more rain than we get in a whole month. Some of the wet weather ended up in Barb Scholl's basement.
There, see my toes? It's coming up between.
She hasn't seen water like this in years.
I came down here and I stepped into water, and that's how I knew that it was wet like that.
3 rooms drenched.
You couldn't put a towel down fast enough. I mean, it was like throwing towels in a swimming pool.
The sump pumps couldn't keep up with all the water.
It's really running in.
Barb is working around the clock to dry out. And the wet vac is sopping up the mess.
It's just crazy.
She's had to dump out water at least 6 times.
And you can see that big one there is ready to fall.
But the damage just wasn't on the inside. A few trees toppled, while others are waiting to tip over.
And a lot of them, they're tipping.
So for now, Barb is happy the sun is shining. The warm rays are not only drying out her wet things, but lifting up her spirit.
You're kidding. It's a nice reprieve. Now we just need the temps to bump up because it's going to take that to dry it out.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Hennepin County Sheriff Rich Stanek ended speculation that he could be running for governor by announcing on Facebook that he's again running for his current job. In his Facebook post, the third-term sheriff says that, quote, "This work has become personal to me and my family, and it is with their love and support that I choose to rededicate my efforts for the next 4 years to this work." Stanek from Maple Grove began serving as sheriff in 2007.
The weather outside couldn't have been worse, but the food inside couldn't have been better. The Maple Grove, Lunds, and Byerlys pulled out all the stops for its grand reopening over the weekend. The main focus of the remodel is to expand its deli, which now includes new hot food sections, a new taco bar, and new sushi offerings. The remodel comes amid a very competitive grocery store environment. Hy-Vee is entering the Maple Grove marketplace, and Cub, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods are all located within a mile radius.
We watched companies enter the market and also exit the market, so we stick to our game and we do what we do and we do it well, and we take good care of our customers and everything pans out.
Lunds and Byerlys feels the remodel could help attract new customers in addition to keeping its loyal following. Still ahead, the president of a Plymouth construction company named Entrepreneur of the Year. That's next in Business Matters.
Plus, Armstrong and Cooper battle under the lights in Plymouth at their annual softball rivalry game.
But first, peaks of sun on Tuesday, but also more showers possible in the afternoon. We'll be right back.
Kayaks will be back on the Mississippi River this summer as part of the National Park Service's Paddle Share program. A trial run at North Mississippi Regional Park last year went so well, it's being expanded to other sites in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Later this summer, a kayak route may open from the Coon Rapids Dam to River Park in Brooklyn Park.
That word of mouth has gotten out that people are anxiously awaiting for all the stations to open, and the same will happen if we go north and with Three Rivers Parks District as well. As it seems to be everybody loves the idea and wants it to come to their community.
That northern stretch still needs approval from Three Rivers Parks. Meanwhile, rentals at North Mississippi Park will begin June 2nd. A Plymouth construction company is getting attention for its workplace culture and growth in the face of adversity.
Bauer Design Build weathered the recession and has come out stronger than ever. It's why the company president is being recognized for building a business that works. As a new preschool rises in Minnetonka, the crew building this space is part of a Plymouth company that's transforming the landscape with new building projects.
I love helping people and seeing their dreams come true. I love building things, and I love sitting down with a client and working with the designers and figuring out what it is that they need.
From where he sits, Mike Bauer feels grateful to be leading Bauer Design Build, a 12-year-old company that's built everything from Omni Brewing in Maple Grove to an end-of-life care facility in Buffalo. It's remarkable when you consider Mike Bauer started his company just before the recession hit and building went bust for many.
2009 was the only year we actually operated in the red as a company, and that's, I'm pretty proud to say that I didn't lay anybody off. We kept everybody busy. I actually took 0 salary that year.
Now a company of 35 people and on track to do more than $100 million in business this year, Bauer positioned his company for growth during the recession and even started hiring. He's quick to credit the team of people who make this company work.
I think that's part of our success, is that it isn't about just finding the deal, but it's helping others out.
The culture is definitely from the top down. He exhibits it himself, but also you can see it in all of his team members.
That company culture and community involvement are key reasons area business leaders recently picked Mike Bauer for the Twin West Chamber's Entrepreneur of the Year Award.
That whole culture of integrity, and they speak about it, but they don't just talk about it. They really do walk the walk.
Not one of my employees will ever tell you or anybody else that that's not in my job description.
Mike Bauer is proud of his company and its buildings, but he's most proud of the culture that's been created by doing the right thing.
We're always there to help them, even if there's not a job in there for us. I think what goes around comes around.
Still ahead, your chance to raise cute puppies without the lifetime commitment.
But first, section titles are on the line in boys tennis. John Jacobson has the highlights next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Breck and Blake are the top 2 teams in Class A tennis most years. Unfortunately for one of them, both play in the same section, 2A. The Bears, ranked number 1 this spring, hosted the defending state champion Mustangs for the section title. First singles play, it's Blake's Ben Ingbar in the near court playing Karthik Papasetti of Breck. Ingbar with a great backhand that he sends deep. Papasetti's return is long. Ingbar wins the point. Later, Ingbar, the state's top-ranked singles player in A, serves up an ace to close out a game, and he wins his match 6-love, 6-1. Jack Barker serves for Blake at second singles. Good rally here between Barker and Thomas Metz. Metz with a nice drop shot for a winning point here. Later in the first set, another good rally between these two players. They're both ranked in the top 10 in singles in Class A as well. Barker comes to the net and drops a nice shot in for a winner. He goes on to win 6-3, 6-3. On to doubles play, Sam Fernandez of Breck serving to Chris Hall. Hall and partner Robbie Shapari take this point. A backhand winner down the line here by Hall for a point. Hall and Shapari win in straight sets over Fernandez and Sam Aronson. Second doubles play, it's Blake's Tanner Parr serving. He and Daniel Riggy meeting Breck's Cole Maxwell and Clayton Haberman. Riggy with the smash winner. Blake wins the match 7-0. He'll be the big favorite at the state Class A tournament June 6th through the 9th in Minneapolis. The Wayzata baseball team lost its first game of the season last month at home against Minnetonka. The Trojans were looking for a little payback when they faced the Skippers at Minnetonka. Second time around, top of the 4th inning, Wayzata's Tyler Young with a low pitch, hitting it to right field, dropping in for a hit there. Nicholas Kay comes in for a run, and it's a 2-1 Trojans lead. Still in the 4th inning, Keegan Nickel hits into a fielder's choice. Minnetonka will get it out at second, but not at first. Austin Fries comes in, and it's 3-1 Wayzata. Bottom of the 4th, Tonka's Matt Haas laces a hit to left center field. That scores Joel Timpson, cutting Wayzata's lead to 3-2. Bottom of the 5th inning, tied at 3. Tonka with a runner on second. Danny Dice, though, runs the ball down in deep right field, ends the inning, and keeps this one 3-3. But in the 6th, nobody can catch this one. Ben Lavasori cracks a 2-out solo home run to center field for the Skippers. The old Wayzata scoreless in the top of the 7th. Lavorsi's home run is the difference. Minnetonka wins it over Wayzata 4-3. Two old softball rivals met Friday night. It was Armstrong and Cooper playing their annual game under the lights at Zachary Park. Armstrong's Leah Baker keeps the Hawks bat silent early, gets the strikeout here, preserving a 2-0 lead. In the third inning, Hannah Bachmeyer's grounder up the middle is knocked out of Maddie McGuire, but the throw is late and high. Maddie Clare scores to make it 3-0 Falcons. Same inning, Kaylin Leonard connects. She drives us over the fence and left for a 2-run homer and a 5-0 Armstrong lead. Up 7-0 in the fifth. Danny Sorensen at the plate, and her blooper drops between three Cooper fielders. Leonard scores for an 8-0 lead, and it looks like this one is over. But not so fast. Bases loaded in the sixth inning. Allie Adams at the plate for the Hawks, and she blasts this one over the center field fence for a grand slam. Cooper gets right back in the game at 8-4. But with 2 out in the seventh, Laura Biener's blooper is caught by diving Hannah Bachmeyer, gets to the bag. That completes the game-winning double play. Armstrong holds on for an exciting 8-4 win. Many of Minnesota's best track and field teams competed last Friday night in Stillwater. It was the state True Team Meet, run by the Coaches Association, and it rewards team depth and not just a few top performers. The Wayzata boys won their 5th straight Class 3A True Team title, finishing with 863.5 points to beat out Lake Conference rival Edina. Moundsview was third and Lakeville South fourth. Lewis Gibson of Wayzata won the 400 meters. Ben Gross took the high jump, and the Trojans 4x800 relay team was first as well. The Wayzata girls took second behind Minnetonka as Lake teams went 1 and 2 here as well. The Trojans won the 4x200 and 4x400 relays, while J.C. Thompson took the 1600 meters. The Chino Grace boys were 8th in Class 2A. Benilde girls were 9th in Class 2A. And that is all for sports today. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. Up next, a perfect opportunity for pet lovers.
Why, these cute puppies need homes when we come back. And finally, a perfect way to end the show. Pay attention, we have cute puppies.
Yeah, these 6 puppies visited Kendu Canines in New Hope. They're being trained in as assistance dogs for people with disabilities. More puppies will arrive later this summer, and it's why Kendu Canines is in need of volunteers to provide hands-on training and teach house manners. The commitment is about 18 months.
They'll all be Labrador Retrievers, and they'll all be about this age, about 16 weeks old. So they'll be a handful for a while, but they'll grow out of that over time.
At least 28 puppy raiser home volunteers are needed, starting as soon as the end of June.
A big commitment, but not as big as it could be, right?
No. How do you say no, right?
Right.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again Tuesday, starting at 4 o'clock.